Several days later.
Fucking German women, man. Alright, geezers, it's been a while, hasn't it? I thought I'd catch you up on the slop. Ignore that. Oh, fuck, everything hurts. I love you, dear viewer. I really do. You got worried. I could tell. And for the one snarky arsehole in the comment section, who is this and why am I subscribed? You know why you're subscribed. In our first story, sad one here, the heartbreaking truths. Unexpected, no one saw this one coming. Logan Paul found alive at his home, just 29 years old. It breaks my heart, you know. He has so much life left. Oh God. Kill me now. Better yet, kill him now. Can we get that trending on X? Firebomb Logan Paul. Elon Musk being the free speech absolutist. I don't see him having an issue with that. Let's get that trending. Firebomb Logan Paul. So it's really unfortunate for the geezer, you know. I knew he didn't have enough issues in life. I thought, oh God, can't he come down with a bad case of, I don't know, meningitis? Do they still do that? Do they still make that one? Does Bill Gates and Pfizer still manufacture meningitis? There's people in the world that fucking believe that shit. Let me just catch my breath. Let me just have a lie down on the grass for a second. Oh, that's better. Oh, that feels good. In our second story, the man tattooing KSI all over his body, almost 200 times here, told us, this is Dexerto, whatever that is. Is that some sort of Yu-Gi-Oh spell? Harry Potter, what topical references do you want from me? Star Wars? Do you know Star Wars? His dad. It was his dad. That's a spoiler, by the way. Luke has a dad. I've ruined the film for you now. He told us he won't stop until he gets a call from the YouTube star KSI, the man in question, if we can call him that. The devious little Gemini he is. He, earlier in the year, he had an absolute meltdown a few months ago. He had an absolute meltdown over one tweet from a children's entertainer. And that sort of fizzled out. That was left on the stove for too long. What do you want from life, dear viewer? Comment below. Have you contemplated suicide in the last 24 hours? Do let me know. Maybe I can help you out. Yeah, maybe I could speak you off the ledge. In either direction. You know, depending on what mood you catch me in. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to kill yourself. Oh, that's terribly bad taste. There's so much slop I've missed. And we're going to cover it all. For the 4 or so people who haven't clicked off already. You're the real ones, yeah? You're the real G's. What else is there? There was some Mr. Beast news. Mr. Beast, for those not in the know, I think his name should be Josh. He looks like a Josh. He announced in an interview of sorts, I suppose, a podcast with Oompaville. Whatever on earth that is. Is that some sort of Willy Wonka fashion magazine? No fucking clue. Oompaville interview that he will more than likely end up suing Dogpack 404. And he's in talks with the lawyers, dear viewer. Now, Dogpack 404, he dropped sort of like a hit piece at the height of this anti-Mr. Beast hysteria. Some of it turned out to be partially true. Some of it was a full fat falsehood. Get that on a t-shirt. And some of it was, you know, a mixture of the both. What do I think about this? I really don't care. Mr. Beast is a capitalist. He does what gets him money, and people are finding out the hard way. He wasn't a saint. That's partially his fault for making himself out as one, I suppose. You know, I made 500 orphans happy at Disneyland or something, and it's got him on the thumbnail with this big fucking American Psycho smile on his face. It never meets the eyes. Have you noticed that? His smile never meets the eyes. What the fuck is up with him? And I do partially find myself responsible, because obviously for those, you know, deeply enriched in Earth apologist lore, you'll remember not too long ago I complimented the geezer about a week or two before it all blew up in his face. I was defending him giving you know, PlayStation 2s to little Ethiopian kids or whatever the fuck he was doing. White liberals had a meltdown over that. People called him a white saviour or whatever. I defended him at the end of the day. I'm not one of the... I'm not that cynical. I'm cynical, but I'm not cynical enough to think a charitable act isn't charitable. You know what I mean? Ultimately, I couldn't care less about your motive. If you give 5 million to cancer research, that's 5 million to cancer research. I don't care if they build a statue outside of a hospital to you. That's 5 million pounds, dollars, yen, rubles, rupees, whatever. That can be put towards, you know, helping people. I'm very utilitarian, one of the two. Yeah, I'm very sort of ends justify the means minded, which is why I'm such a ruthless, manipulative, sneaky little bastard. But I'm an honest one, because I tell you that. Anyway, there's so much slop. I've missed so much. Honestly, I get tied down in a basement for 1 week and the whole world keeps turning round. Not a police investigation or anything. You just can't find the people these days, dear viewer. What happened to milk cartons? Comment below. Do you remember milk cartons? They used to have the missing people on the side. She's got a face like a milk carton. Missing since 2018. Oh, dark. I've returned and I've taken a much darker turn. What else? There was something else. Yes, Jaguar. This is part 1 of our 2-part corporate special. Jaguar, the luxury British car brand owned by Indians. The irony is not lost on me, dear viewer. Bring back the British Empire. They've rebranded. They've had a little bit of a rebrand. They got a little bit tipsy in the club and they've had a bit of a rebrand. People have been freaking out about this. They've been having a conniption about it. This, as far as I'm concerned, is a magnificent example of polarism. Polarism, for those not in the loop, is basically the ethos that all publicity is good publicity. It's the shock and the outrage. It's a blitzkrieg of free press coverage. From doing something outrageous or provocative, there have been masters, past and present, who have exploited polarism. 2 that immediately come to mind are the likes of Donald Trump and Kanye West. It's no coincidence. That whenever Kanye West does a new album, he joins the clan. You know, he always does something outrageous, conveniently, when there's about to be something to sell. And it can go too far. Sometimes it backfires. But for the most part, outrage is a good thing, because ultimately you are getting people to talk about you or talk about your product for free. Your bank account may take a hit for a week or a month or maybe a year, but ultimately you'll come out on the other side if you play your cards right, richer and with a wider publicity. Now, Jaguar is an interesting case because they're already a highly known, highly celebrated make of car, and people are angry. People are angry at this advert for multiple reasons. One of them, the cliche, grifty reason, there's black people in an advert, and that is, I don't know, some sort of Jewish conspiracy. It beats me. There are more nuanced reasons people did not like this ad. I saw it in a historic Earth Apologist first. I have actually seen the source material here. I didn't like it because it reeks of corporate chic. And what brand at this point hasn't done this? The irony of calling the ad copy nothing, and it is the most cliche, cobbled together, corporate speak nonsense I've ever seen. It's got a bunch of people, diverse people, and I don't have an issue with that, I'm a liberal, but it's got a bunch of, different people. I think there's even an albino in there. Shout out to the albino massive. And the message is, be yourself. Be unapologetically you. Just this regurgitated baby bird slop that obviously an American audience eats up. They love the philosophy of bumper stickers. They're very shallow people, dear viewer. Almost walked into a tree. They're very shallow people. They like these little sound bites, with nothing underneath it. So this is obviously courting a mass Americanized audience. But to someone, with a soul, with standards, with some sort of, intellect, it rings hollow. There's nothing behind it, and there never is. This is just another example of a corporation desperate to appear warm-blooded, and it never works out. It never does. It always rings hollow. Starbucks doesn't give a fuck about trans people. They'll put out a tweet or an X-tweet or whatever the fuck they're called now, because they can see there's money to be made. They can put a black square on social media because it costs them nothing and it courts the public. This is just another example of that. And it's hollow. That's my issue with it. My issue isn't the fact there's, black or brown people or women in an advert. I'm not 14 years old. I'm not surfing 4chan. I'm a human being that goes outside and sees people. I don't really care about that. My issue was and always has been the performativeness of it. It's all performative. And the only criticism I have about this very diverse cast of very colourful individuals, the clothing, I'm talking about the clothing, is it does ring tokenistic. It does ring like there's a quota, that there's tick boxes that have to be met. X amount of this group, Y amount of that group. And I've got no time for it, frankly. I really have no time for it. But Jaguar have rebranded. I personally think it is a cynical ploy to get people talking about them. This video is evidence enough it works. Every other slop commentary parasite video on this is proof enough it works. I'm reminded of, what was it? More recently, there's been the Minecraft trailer. Everyone spoke about that. Everyone knows, there's a Minecraft film. Most of the reception was negative, but it's free publicity. You see it in every medium all around us, because we live in such an attention-grabbing landscape. Attention is all that matters, because when you are in such a busy, hyper online, there's so much stuff. We are drowning in stuff as a society. So obviously, the stuff that flashes red and obscenities is going to draw people to it. You can't be humble. You can't be meek. You can't be quiet in the modern age, because you will be drowned out by these screaming nimrods, like I Show Speed or Jake Paul or whoever. The morons will always get the audience, because people love a car crash. It's as simple as that. I'm rambling now. The Hebophiles hate it when I ramble, but I think it's a ramble that has merit. Polarism is what this is. You saw it with the Minecraft trailer. Before that, a few years prior, you saw it with the Sonic film. Remember the original Sonic trailer? And it had Gangster's Paradise and this weird little ferrety, almost looked like Asmongold, this horrific little rodent creature running around in 480p. No, sorry, 4K. 480p is me. And the whole internet for about a week was talking about it. And then, geniusly, the production company, I forget who it was it Warner Brothers, was it Paramount, no fucking clue, they came out and played, oh, we hear your criticisms, because we are a warm-blooded corporation, we're going to work tirelessly to fix the wrongs with this film. I fully invest into the conspiracy theory, and if you know me, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but I believe the original trailer was all a con. I'm one of those people. I think the original trailer was never the finished film. I think they did that deliberately to call public attention, and then it's the bait and switch. We will change these things. We will listen to the criticisms, and then they bring out the finished film. I never saw it. I'm not a child. I'm not a paedophile. Apparently, from what I've heard, the finished film was well received. It was successful at the box office, enough so that it spawned multiple sequels. That is polarism working. As I mentioned earlier, Kanye West, he's still talked about, he's still discussed, he is still a relevant artist after over 2 decades almost in the spotlight. That's difficult. That's really fucking difficult, because ultimately most artists, they have their 5 minutes of fame and they fizzle out. Kanye West, yay, people still talk about him. People still listen to his music. He had a #1, I think either this year or last year, with Carnival. You can't make an argument he's not relevant. And most of that is polarism. He forces people to talk about him. You have no choice but to pay attention. And you see it with, shock jocks like Howard Stern. And as I previously mentioned, Donald Trump. He polarised his way to the presidency twice. So, cancel culture, this is a totally off-the-cuff ramble now. Cancel culture as a concept only exists if you let it exist. You can't be cancelled unless you play into it. Now, don't get me wrong, if you play into the oh, I'm so sorry, and you release 17 twit-longer press statements, yeah, best believe cancel culture exists. But if you double down, if you triple down, if you barrel ahead, they can't touch you. Because eventually the people who are outraged will get bored, they'll become numb to it, or they'll just be drowned out by people who don't care. So, random tangent, but that's one I've been thinking about for a while. And I've almost walked into a tree again. And I've had that one in the slow cooker for a while. I don't think I've ever spoken about it publicly though. Maybe I'll do like a video essay. Yeah, maybe I'll do a video essay on polarism, because you see it in every single form or medium. There's a lemon squeezer. I forget who it's by. My mother had one growing up. It was always in the kitchen. It looks like some sort of spider Martian, some sort of Martian spider thing. It's made of steel, I believe. Look into this. Lemon squeezer alien. Lemon squeezer alien. Google, Bing, ask Jeeves that, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And this was sort of like an art piece, and it's designed to be a lemon squeezer, but it's not a lemon squeezer. You put the lemon on top and you squeeze it, and it doesn't really work, but it's sold like hotcakes, or lemon squeezers, because it was bizarre, it was out there, it was worthy of conversation, because it was just so shocking and controversial. And we need to get out of this headspace that controversy is a bad thing, because ultimately controversy sells. In the 40s and the 50s, sex sold. Marilyn Monroe could flash the camera a bit of thigh and the world would go fucking crazy, because it was a more a proper society. But now most women who have an online presence, you can see every inch of their body in HD, whether you want to or not. Nowadays, sex is so oversaturated. We are an oversexed society, to the point where sex doesn't sell as much anymore. It still sells, but a bit of cleavage in a film trailer used to make numbers. Now every film has a bit of cleavage, even on the men. Hashtag political. I've gone political. Oh no. Oh fuck, I've joined the right wing. They've got me. I've been red pilled. You know what I mean though? Everyone's got breasts now, and I'm not against that. I'm a liberal. Have all the tits you want, sweetheart. But we're an oversexed society, and I'm not even necessarily saying that's a bad thing. I'm not one of these funny duddy fucking conservative types who think women should be cattle or whatever, and everyone should be very properly dressed and all of this. No, but it's a fact. We have become, as a culture, more overtly sexual. To the point where it doesn't sell as much anymore. Something that does sell is outrage. Outrage generates controversy. Controversy, or controversy if you'd prefer, generates conversation. Conversation is free publicity. Cash, money, that's where it leads. Money. Oh, glorious, glorious Luca. Anyway, sorry, we've still got so much shit to address. Mr. Beast, who I still think his name should be Josh, says he would only pay 300 max to purchase a black person. Unlike the Jaguar ad, I have nothing of merit to say about that. Is this the final story? fuck it, this is the final story. I'm about half a month late on this one, but Jake Paul, brother of the sadly still with us, Logan Paul, he got into fisticuffs with some fella, I think his name's Michael, just this old geezer, no fucking idea. I do like his face tattoos though. He got into a fight with an old man, he beat the old man, and made lots and lots of money doing it. So I'd just like to wish him all the best. You know, any man that can beat an elderly gentleman and get paid for it earns my eternal respect. Mike Tyson, right? This may just be me. Does anyone else think, comment below, does anyone else think he looks a little bit like Blastoise? You know, the Pokemon? I can't be the only one who thinks that. He looks a little bit like Blastoise. I think I just coughed up a bit of blood. Anyway, do I have anything of worth to say about that? This video is probably 40 minutes long as it is. No. Capitalism wins again. God bless capitalism. God bless the United States of America. And God bless yourself. Oh fuck, what's my sign off? I've forgotten everything. Oh God, no. What's my sign off? God bless yourself. Oh, hang on. I love you. God bless yourself. And as usual... Oh fuck, she's coming.